Welcome to Basketball U. If you're new to Basketball U, make sure you slam dunk that subscribe button. And just to make sure you don't miss a thing, make sure you tap that notification bell right after you hit that subscribe button. Basketball U family. It's been a great journey learning about the game of basketball up to this point, and we hope we have covered all the basics of the history of the game and some small details you may have been wondering about when it comes to the overall aspect of basketball. We are going to give you the last position that we feel is important in the NBA highlights as an important role as well. We hope you can fully understand everything that goes into playing this position, as well as help you guide into a position you feel that matches these qualities of your game. Today, we are going to talk about what it takes to be in the six-man position. There are so many qualities that you have to have in this position, and the skills are just a half of it. Your mentality has to be just as good as your physical ability, because the sixth man gets put in multiple game situations and is asked to complete their task at a high efficiency rate. Let's see what it takes to be a sixth man. The sixth man position in basketball is awarded to the player who is often first off the bench and into the on-court lineup. This player fills a very valuable role for your team in providing a consistent and sustained effort, even when rotations happen throughout the game. The sixth man needs to have a number of qualities that help fulfill this role within your team. The most important quality a sixth man needs is that this player should know your team's systems, as well as any starting player within the line. Often players junior, senior, or elite, if they are not in the starting lineup, do not pay attention to the importance of knowing what is going on at all times on the floor. For elite teams, this can be especially evident as coaches utilize players from the bench in certain situations, so those players often become overly familiar with that role, but then reduce their ability to fill any other role they may be called upon to play. The sixth man needs to be a positive force on the floor. When the sixth man first rotates into the game, they need to energize the other floor players from the starting lineup. The sixth player can be used as a catalyst for changing the game if a poor result on the floor is occurring. When substituting into the game in these type of situations, or in general, the sixth man should bring positive energy to give to the other players. An overemphasis on positive talk and actions can help inspire teammates to change the game. Regardless of the situation, the sixth man should initially, when walking onto the floor, act like the biggest fan of the other players on the floor to instill a positive atmosphere. The sixth player needs to be an impact player. When the sixth man steps onto the court, this player should be looking to change the game. Each player within the team brings something different. As coaches, you are probably more aware of this more than most people. But for the sixth man, the impact needs to be immediate and in line or above the intensity of the game. This player should be looking to fill the directive provided by the coach to the letter, so the gameplay can continue to evolve and play out as desired. A sixth man who substitutes into a game only to have the player they are guarding score the next 3 baskets becomes a problem for the team and a weakness that upsets the flow of the team. The fitness of the sixth man should be a matter of pride. Through the sixth man will start on the bench. Often they will be called upon during games to play a greater role than planned for. Playing minimum minutes one game or starting the next game will be the physical demands facing the role of the sixth man. But it is more than just regular fitness, such as cardiovascular capability. The sixth man will often play across a range of positions depending on what rotations are made with the other 4 players on the court to accommodate the substitution. For this reason, the sixth man should do the skill and health work of a guard and the weights training of a forward. Out of all these physiological attributes, foot speed will be the most important. Good foot speed will allow the sixth man to guard small players and outplay bigger players when called to defend a post player. The sixth man needs to be able to contain players at the very least defensively. All teams will have their strongest defensive player or their best offensive shooter. If your team's sixth man fills this role, you are blessed with good fortune. But in the majority of cases, the sixth man is often a blend of offense and defense. This is usually what makes what the sixth man so valuable. They can make that open shot in your offense or understand their role in playing a part in the team defensive system. One thing that cannot happen, though, is the sixth man being a poor defensive asset. The sixth man does not need to be able to be the best defensive player on the floor, but they should be able to maintain the pressure demonstrated at least by the player they are replacing. The sixth player must look to always be trying to break into the starting lineup. A hungry player is a motivated player. And if the sixth man sees an ongoing opportunity to work their way into the starting lineup, this will only serve to make training sessions, exhibition games, and regular season fixtures all the more focused and challenging for all the players on the team. By showing, acknowledging, and performing on the court, the sixth man can ramp up the team's intensity like no other player will be able to. Different teams will have a different mix of players, and as a result, the requirements for the sixth man will change depending on the individual needs of each team. Good perimeter shooting, valuable offensive screening, or defensive rebounding are all just some of the characteristics coaches might emphasize and look for in this key position. Whatever the need is, the sixth man must be of the opinion that they can and will rise to the challenge that is asked of them. Just like every other position, the sixth man has to study film, always needing that level of confidence come game day. Understanding the film and how you can help your teammates enjoy the process of getting better as a whole, as you start teaching them what you see so you can enhance the chemistry of your team. When it comes to watching game film, it applies with any position, especially when being a sixth man. It's mandatory, as game film allows you to see how you play from a perspective you're not used to seeing it from, the same perspective everyone else sees. You can view it in real time, slow motion, or fast forward to see how things play out in different angles. There are a few notable six-man players in the league that are elite when it comes to this six-man position. Players such as Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford, Mike Miller, Def Love Shrimp, Kevin McHale, Lamar Odom, Tony Kukoc, Manu Ginobili, Jason Terry, and the first six-man ever, Frank Ramsey. Which brings us to the legendary Boston Celtics coach, Red Auerbach, a coach who created the six-man position, using Frank Ramsey, who played behind Bob Cousy and Bill Sharman during the Celtics' dynasty years. Ramsey felt more comfortable coming off the bench, although he is considered one of the best players in the Celtics. Auerbach always wanted his best players fresh and in the lineup at the end of close games. But it was the Hall of Famer John Havlicek who capitalized the role in his 16-year career with the Boston Celtics. In conclusion, sixth man is everything that basketball embodies: patience, skill, dependability, adaptability, communication, consistency, team first mentality. This position, person, and player is special. Having more players in a mindset like this helps teams achieve their goals. Coaches being able to call on someone in need at any moment is special. And to have them in the game during crunch time is everything you want when trusting a player. Salute to the six-man position. Can you set aside your ego and your personal goals to help give whatever is needed for your team to succeed? This is Basketball U. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, follow all of our social medias right there in the description to keep yourself up to date, as this channel will have a lot of basketball, a lot of players, and a lot of training and more information on how to play the game of basketball. Remember, someone's always working. Are you?